clubhouse gym working, so we can, divide the guys and also fulfill the distancing that we want to do. So we have more areas where the guys are doing some of those plyo balls and bands exercises in different areas as well. So we have our training rooms that are being used as well. The locker rooms, separating lockers. I mean, everything that we can do in order to keep the guys, distant from each other. I said this, that the number one thing is the health of everyone here, and that we're fulfilling the protocol so the guys are able to go out on the field and we can focus on our baseball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Mike Puma.
Hey, Louis, I was just wondering, when spring training concluded, Cespedes was close to testing his legs on the bases. I'm just wondering, is he clear to kind of test his legs when he gets out there, or are you going to wait on that and see where he's at?
I know he was still in a progression while we were away this time, running bases and, maximizing the sprints. We'll need to reassess with the performance staff to see where we at in that area. We'll see in the upcoming days, in camp, when we start, ramping it up more and we get, involved into the bases and all that, where he is as far as that. But I know that he was in progression, and I've heard really good things about it, and I can't wait to see Cespedes, myself.
Our next question is from Tony DeCobo.
Hey, Louis. I actually have two quick ones. One, just to follow up on Cespedes. When he was away, did he ever get to the point, to your knowledge, where he sprinted full speed?
Yes, I believe that he was testing it, that he was in that progression. And, according to the reports that we have from the performance staff, he was in that progression. He was following as far as like sprinting and putting a little bit more of the intensity that he needed to put according to the time to be where he is. And, being in this group included, we're still going to have to see him and reassess with the performance staff to include him in the drills that we have as far as base running, but to my understanding, he's in that progression where they're ramping him up.
And two, as far as the players who came in for the early workouts, were you able, or did you want to address them formally in any way? And if so, what did you say? And just logistically, how were you able to do that?
Yes, we are connecting virtually right now. That's how we're addressing the team. It's become part of the new normality, just to hop on a Zoom call, hop on a virtual call or a text, or using Teamworks. We're connecting that way. We've explained the format of our workouts, how we're going to stagger everyone and how we're going to expect, everyone to come to camp. So they're clicking quick. So, we're looking for that, so it was a productive first session. I think we got a lot out of it, very positive. I think we fulfilled what we wanted to fulfill in that one. And, we'll keep going day to day, to make adjustments that we need to make so everyone has a fluid camp.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, as a reminder, if you'd like to ask a question, please use the raise your hand feature on the participants taskbar on the bottom of the video screen. Our next question is from Disha Thorzar.
Hey, Louis, just to follow up on Anthony's question, when you were holding that meeting and it was kind of virtual, like you said, is the new normal, was everyone in separate rooms? I'm just wondering kind of like what the logistics were during that meeting.
Yes, everyone was in separate rooms, locations, and it makes us fulfill what we want to fulfill here. Everyone's health is the number one thing, and at the same time, we can deliver with our communication. That's what we want to keep always at a high level. And so everyone was in their location, there's something missing there. So it's not just, an open conversation that we have as a big group. We'll always give the option of the guys, just, call if you want something like further explain or breaking down. And that way we have more clarity at the end and we know what to do when we're coming to the ballpark.
Right. And then second, just I saw Dylan Betances today. Did you check in with him to see how his ankle is feeling? And is he kind of more ready for opening day than we saw him last in March?
Yes, we've been talking. I mean, the constant communication before watching him today. His feedback was great on how things were going and how his workouts were going. Watching him live today, it looked really good. I mean, ball coming out of his hands, both of his breaking balls coming out really good. Just good stuff. I mean, good. I watched from the angle behind the catcher, and you see that monster on the mound. It's just I can see why the strikeout ratio is so high, with him. So he looked really good today. He felt really good. And then afterwards, I saw him in the gym, and he was also, he's very pumped up about the day and going through the session.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Dave Lennon.
Hey, Luis. I was wondering about, were there any parts of today that felt normal for you? And also, how well did you handle it, and how well did the players handle it, do you think, on the first day so far?
Yeah, when we got to the field, and we're just practicing. The guys were playing cash, the catchers were blocking, receiving, then they took BP, and when the guys went onto the mounds, the 3 mounds that we use today back there, I think everything was just normal. And I think I answered part of this question earlier. It's just that the education of going through, the screening coming in and the distancing that we have pretty much marked set up here in the facility, that's the part of the adaptation I think that we're all forming, and we're all educating, and we're gonna own it and make it part of our routine. And but going out there is pretty normal for us, just to go out there and out of all, it was watching the guys, throw their sides, and also watching BP was, I had the most fun just in that first session, just watching the flight of the ball. Some balls that landed in the seats, from each guy that was hitting. It was Rivera, Nido, and Ramos that hit, took BP. But then, the bullpens also look great. Everybody looked good.
Our next question is from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Louie. Where's Jed Lowry at in his progression?
Jet, right now he's, Jet hasn't played in a while, and he's, we're expecting, he was in that knee brace, and he was testing it throughout camp. We're going to bring him back. He's here, and we're going to see how his progression is. That's something that I need to reassess as well with the performance staff to see where he is. But the knee brace was what was, the limit was his limitation as far as like getting comfortable, wearing that limit, that brace throughout practice, and, see if we could wear it in game. And that was the question that we were going through camp. And that was, we need to reassess with the performance staff in order here to camp, as far as like his baseball activity.
Thanks.
The next question is from Tim Britton.
Hey, Louie, I know there's some things you can't talk about in terms of medical stuff, but for physically, like baseball injuries, are there any guys who can't be on the field today for a workout because of a baseball injury?
Not that I heard of, not to my knowledge. I haven't gotten a report of any baseball-related injury.
And then for you, kind of, how early was the start to your day? I know you're a guy who likes to get to the park pretty early. How early did you get here, and what was it like before guys showed up?
Well, we have a screening time too, so those workout days are over for me. So I'm getting here, you know, at a certain time because we're coming in staggered, like I told you guys. So, you know, group is in at one time, then another group, you know, not to get into detail, but we're coming staggered throughout the days, and you know, and that's just how it is. But around 6:45, I was rolling in.
Thanks.
Next question is from Mike Fitzpatrick.
Hey, Louis, how you doing? From our vantage point up here in the press box, we can make out, you know, some things on the field, and when you guys are deep in the bullpen back there behind the right center fence, you know, sometimes it's a little harder to make out. Can you just give us, you know, we could see Lugo, I think, thrown off the mound, Betances. Can you just give us a rundown of who else got off the mound today and about how much, you know, how many pitches guys are throwing? I know it might be a little different for different guys, but.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you, I mean, my impressions and my highlights of you know, a couple of guys that were throwing, you know, but not everyone that was back there, you know, but Jake DeGrom threw. It was great to see Jake mixing his repertoire. I mean, he looked like him almost in mid-season form there. But like you said, Lugo, Familia, Betances. From what I saw, I stood more on the right side. Those guys, you know, threw the ball really well, and also Drew Smith. You know, I saw Drew Smith throwing the ball. You know, it looked really well.
Thanks.
Our next question is from Tim Healy.
Just to clarify one of the points you mentioned about Cespedes and Lowry as far as the performance team getting updates on their rehab while they were away. What is communicated to the performance team, and what exactly do you need to see in person when you've been getting updates this whole time?
Well, you know, the update is a progression plan that they have. I mean, our performance staff does such a great job with scheduling that progression. I mean, from, you know, in a time frame, and you know, the player goes through the progression. I mean, we know we were also in, you know, tough times, and I can see that probably that schedule, you know, needs to be readjusted according to how we go. But then, you know, when we get here, I need to always get in touch with our performance staff to reassess and see where the guys are and how they feel as far as participating also in the baseball activity that we got for each day.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Luis Rojas, thank you very much. This concludes the
Thank
Zoom
you, guys.
meeting.
Thank you.